But when they say illegal versus legal immigration, they are trying to end legal status in the United States as well. Correct, Governor Pritzker, with the end of TPS and making people undocumented by removing legal status, ending legal status, and then having the audacity to call them illegal when they were here documented, correct?
We need to subpoena.
That's not
Secretary
a point of order.
Noem.
Chair recognizes
We
Ms.
just talked
Greene.
about this
No, it's
earlier.
not a point.
We talked
Thank
about
you, Mr. Chairman.
You already had
Reclaiming
your
my
chance to get
time.
on MSNBC.
Reclaiming my
Chair
time.
recognizes Ms.
thrown
Greene.
to the ground.
Can't follow the
Shut
rules.
up. Just shut up.
No, you don't. No,
shut
you're
up.
not going to tell me to shut up.
How do you get him in order? You're running for this.
Not like that.
He has been out of order 6 times. He's trying to get on MSNBC. You probably knocked.
I get it.
He's been arrested as a former Antifa member, right?
Back to order, Ms. Greene. Go.
He's a
go.
former Antifa
All right, Ms.
member,
Greene.
Mr.
You're
Chairman.
recognized. You got
no
it.
surprise.
Who's a former
Yours.
Antifa member? Me?
Yeah, you.
I asked that these words be taken down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to America First, the channel that puts our great nation and its citizens before everything else. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because we're bringing you the truth that the mainstream media won't tell you. And hey, if you want to support real patriotic content and help us keep fighting for America, head over to patreon.com/AmericaFirst where you can support us for as low as $5 a month. Every dollar helps us continue this fight for our country. Today we're going to break down what I can only describe as an absolute circus that took place in Congress. And folks, what you're about to see is exactly why the American people are fed up with the swamp. This video shows our elected officials acting like children in a playground while serious issues affecting real Americans are being discussed. But more importantly, it reveals the Democrats' true agenda when it comes to immigration and their complete disrespect for law and order.
Control have to deal with other crimes that they're solving.
And apologies, I just have 10 seconds left. But when they say illegal versus legal immigration, they are trying to end legal status in the United States as well. Correct, Governor Pritzker, with the end of TPS and making people undocumented by removing legal status, ending legal status, and then having the audacity to call them illegal when they were here documented, correct?
Taking students' visas away from people, taking their legal right to be in the United States away from them when they've been granted maybe years earlier to stay.
So I don't want to hear about how this is about illegal versus legal immigration. They are attacking legal status and removing legal status. The Republican majority is anti-legal immigration in the United States. And I want to make that very clear, and I yield back.
Chair now recognizes
Mr. Chair,
Marjorie.
unanimous consent request.
Mr. Frost.
Unanimous consent request into the record a NBC article. Senator Alex Padilla removed from news conference with Homeland Security Secretary Noem.
All right, without objection to order.
I have another one, the Hill article. Padilla forcibly removed from Noem press conference.
Without objection to order.
And I have a third one, Axios, Democratic senator forcibly removed from DHS press conference.
Without objection to order.
Mr. Chair, also, we were just talking about this. I want to know if you can commit to working with us so we can subpoena.
You're out of order. Chair recognizes Ms. Greene.
I have a point of order.
No.
I have a point of order.
State your point.
We need to subpoena.
That's not
Secretary
a point of order.
Noem.
Chair recognizes
We
Ms.
just talked
Greene.
about this
That's
earlier.
not a point.
We talked
Thank
about
you, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You already had
Reclaiming
your
my
chance to get on
time.
MSNBC.
Reclaiming my
Chair recognizes
time.
Ms.
thrown
Greene.
to the ground
Reclaiming my
recognizes
time.
and handcuffed in his own damn
Oh,
state.
Democrats can't follow the rules.
right.
Can't follow
Chair
the law.
recognizes Ms. Greene.
Can't
Here.
follow the
Let's
rules.
go.
Can't
We
follow
need
the
to
law.
subpoena Kristi Noem. It's
Chair
her
recognizes
staff,
Ms. Greene.
DHS federal
There's a
officers
privilege of
that
the
threw a
majority,
US
and that
senator
means
to the
we're in
ground.
charge,
Just
not
this
your
morning we were
side.
talking about this
Because
happening to
you
governors.
lost the
All right,
election.
Ms.
Governors
Greene,
are
we're
not-
going to start the
Because
clock.
you
You have
supported
anything
the
to say about
invasion
that?
of our
Mr. Frost.
country.
All right.
It's my
Will
time.
you
Hold it.
commit on the record
Stop
to
the
work
clock.
My
on
time.
subpoena
Thank you,
Kristi
Mr.
Noem?
Chairman. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
You're out of order. Chair recognizes
Will
Ms.
you
Greene.
commit on the
Thank
record
you.
to subpoenaing Kristi Noem because a U.S. senator was just thrown to the ground and detained in his own
Democrats
state?
can't follow the rules.
out of
Can't
order.
follow the law.
Will you
Can't
commit-
follow the
Shut
rules.
up. Just shut
Will you?
up.
No, you don't. No,
shut
you're
up.
not going to tell me to shut up.
How do you get him in order? You're running for this.
Not like that.
He has been out of order 6 times. He's trying to get on MSNBC. You probably knocked
I get it.
somebody off
I don't have any problem
MSNBC
getting
to
on
get on there.
MSNBC. That's
Ms.
not
I
what it's
Greene.
think
about.
as he's been arrested as a
recognized.
former
Yeah, well,
Antifa
okay,
member,
here.
right?
Back to
Antifa.
order, Ms. Greene. Go.
He's a
Go.
former
All
Antifa
right, Ms.
member,
Greene. You're
Mr.
recognized.
Chairman.
You got
no
it.
surprise.
Who's a former
Yours.
Antifa member? Me?
Yeah, you.
I ask that these words be taken down.
No, Ms. Greene,
Thank you.
you're
I
recognized.
ask that
Thank
these
you,
words
Mr.
be taken
Chairman.
down.
There's a motion. on the floor.
Governor
Ms.
Hochul,
Greene is recognized.
Governor
I ask that
Hochul,
these
you
words be
stated
taken down.
that you're a proud Democrat, proud registered
All right,
Democrat.
we got to
You need to
suspend.
retract.
There's been a parliamentary move. They said they weren't going to do that.
Let me start by addressing the elephant in the room. We have Governor Pritzker here complaining about Republicans supposedly attacking legal immigration. Now hold on just a minute. This is the same tired playbook we've seen for years. Democrats love to conflate legal and illegal immigration because it serves their political purposes. They want to muddy the waters and make it seem like anyone who wants secure borders and proper immigration enforcement is somehow anti-immigrant. That's not just dishonest, it's insulting to every American who believes in the rule of law. When Pritzker talks about ending TPS, temporary protected status, he's conveniently leaving out the fact that the word temporary is right there in the name. These programs were never meant to be permanent pathways to citizenship. They were emergency measures designed to help people during specific crises in their home countries. The fact that Democrats want to make every temporary program permanent shows they're not interested in actual immigration policy. They're interested in changing the demographics of this country to benefit their electoral prospects. And let's talk about this idea that Republicans are somehow anti-legal immigration. That's absolutely false, and it's a dangerous lie. What we're against is illegal immigration, chain migration, and programs that bypass our existing legal immigration system. We want immigration that serves American interests first. We want immigrants who will contribute to our society, follow our laws, and assimilate into our culture. That's not anti-immigration, that's pro-America. The transcript shows Democrats getting upset about Senator Padilla being removed from a press conference with DHS Secretary Noem. Now, I don't know all the details of what happened there, but I do know that Democrats have a long history of grandstanding and creating disruptions for political theater. If Senator Padilla was removed, there was probably a good reason for it. Maybe he was being disruptive, maybe he was violating protocol, but you can bet the mainstream media won't give you that context. What really gets me fired up about this transcript is the complete lack of decorum and respect for the institution of Congress. You have representatives shouting over each other, telling each other to shut up, and generally acting like they're at a bar fight instead of conducting the people's business. This is what happens when you have career politicians who care more about getting on television than actually solving problems. The accusation about someone being a former Antifa member is particularly telling. Antifa, as we all know, is a domestic terrorist organization that has caused billions of dollars in damage to American cities. They've attacked innocent people, destroyed businesses, and tried to intimidate anyone who disagrees with their radical leftist agenda. If there are members of Congress who have ties to Antifa, that's something the American people deserve to know about. We need representatives who support law and order, not those who sympathize with violent extremists. But let's get back to the immigration issue, because that's really at the heart of this chaos. Democrats want open borders, period. They'll deny it. They'll say they support border security, but their actions tell a different story. Every time Republicans try to enforce immigration law, Democrats cry racism. Every time we try to deport people who are here illegally, Democrats obstruct. Every time we try to build barriers to protect our border, Democrats file lawsuits. The truth is, Democrats benefit politically from illegal immigration. Illegal immigrants often end up in blue states and blue cities, which increases those areas' representation in Congress through the census. Many blue jurisdictions don't verify citizenship when people register to vote, creating opportunities for electoral manipulation. And illegal immigrants often work for below-market wages, which benefits Democrat donors in industries like agriculture, construction, and hospitality. Meanwhile, working-class Americans, the backbone of this country, see their wages depressed by illegal immigration. They see their communities changed by people who have no legal right to be here. They see their tax dollars going to provide services for people who haven't contributed to the system. And when they complain about it, they're called racist by the same politicians who live in gated communities and send their kids to private schools. This is why we need to support President Trump's immigration agenda. We need to finish the wall, we need to end catch and release, we need to eliminate sanctuary cities, and we need to prioritize Americans first in our immigration system. We need to end birthright citizenship for children of illegal immigrants. We need to implement mandatory e-verify for all employers. And we need to dramatically increase deportations of people who have no right to be here. The chaos in this congressional hearing is a perfect metaphor for what Democrats have done to our immigration system. Instead of having orderly legal processes, we have chaos. Instead of following the rules, we have people making up their own rules as they go along. Instead of putting Americans first, we have politicians who seem more concerned about the rights of people who shouldn't even be here. And let's not forget about the security implications of all this. We're living in dangerous times, folks. We have adversaries around the world who would love nothing more than to infiltrate our country and do us harm. When we have porous borders and don't know who's coming into our country, we're putting every American family at risk. We've already seen cases of known terrorists and criminals taking advantage of our broken immigration system to enter the United States illegally. The Democrats' response to these security concerns is to call us fearmongers and racists. They don't want to have an honest conversation about the real costs and consequences of illegal immigration because it doesn't serve their political interests. They'd rather have chaos at the border and in our immigration courts than admit that President Trump was right about the need for strong border security. This congressional hearing also shows us why we need term limits. These career politicians have been in Washington so long that they've forgotten they work for us, not the other way around. They're more interested in political theater and cable news appearances than actually solving problems. They treat serious issues like immigration as opportunities for partisan point scoring, rather than working together to find solutions that serve the American people. The American people are smart, and they see through this nonsense. That's why Republicans gained seats in the House, and why President Trump won such a decisive victory. Americans want leaders who will put America first, not politicians who will put illegal immigrants and foreign interests ahead of our own citizens. We need to hold these politicians accountable. When they disrupt hearings, when they spread misinformation about immigration policy, when they prioritize non-citizens over Americans, we need to call them out. We need to vote them out. We need to support candidates who will actually represent our interests in Washington. The immigration system we have now is broken, and it's broken by design. Democrats want chaos because chaos serves their political purposes. They want confusion about who's here legally and who isn't because it makes it harder to enforce our laws. They want to overwhelm our system with so many cases that immigration courts can't function effectively. What we need is a complete overhaul of our immigration system based on merit, not family connections or lottery systems. We need immigrants who have skills that benefit our economy, not people who will immediately go on public assistance. We need immigrants who speak English and want to become Americans, not people who want to recreate the conditions of the countries they left behind. This means ending chain migration, ending the diversity visa lottery, and implementing a points-based system like they have in Canada and Australia. It means prioritizing immigrants with education, skills, and English proficiency. It means having an immigration system that serves American workers and American families first. But none of this will happen as long as we have politicians like the ones in this hearing who are more interested in political theater than actual governance. This is why elections matter, folks. This is why we need to stay engaged, stay informed, and vote in every election, not just the presidential ones. The chaos and disrespect shown in this congressional hearing is exactly what's wrong with Washington today. We have politicians who think they can ignore the rules, disrupt proceedings, and act like children while they're supposed to be conducting the people's business. This isn't what our founders intended when they created our system of government. We need leaders who understand that they work for us, not for special interests or foreign nationals who have no legal right to be here. We need leaders who will put America first in every decision they make. And we need citizens who will hold these politicians accountable when they fail to do their jobs. That's what this channel is all about, patriots. We're here to tell you the truth about what's happening in Washington and around the country. We're here to cut through the mainstream media spin and give you the facts you need to make informed decisions. And we're here to remind you that you have the power to change things by staying engaged and voting. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/AmericaFirst. For just $5 a month, you can help us continue bringing you the truth and fighting for America First policies. Remember, the swamp doesn't want informed citizens because informed citizens are dangerous to their agenda. They want confused, distracted, and divided Americans because that makes us easier to control. But we're not going to let that happen. We're going to stay informed, stay united, and keep fighting for the country we love. Until next time, this is America First, reminding you to put America first in everything you do. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.